Hello, Facebook world. Uh, Hello, my name is Dan Hartman. I'm the director of the Glensheen Mansion. I'm having several technical difficulties today. My camera I've used the last 2 days, which made it look a lot better. Having issues connecting, of course. I decided to do an update 5 minutes before on the software, and now it can't see my camera. Anyways, so today I'm actually excited to talk. We are going to talk about the attic at Glensheen, which is based off of some of the commentary I heard from yesterday who said they wanted to see kind of these behind the scenes spaces. Even some people said directly they want to see the attic. So today we're going to see the attic. So I'm going to try to watch the comments. And so please, any questions you have, I will try to answer them at the end of this live. And yeah, I think comments and questions are fun. So please throw them down and I will try to answer them. But otherwise, we are going to switch over to learning about the attic. Now let's hope this works. See my desktop for a little bit. Okay. So my daughter is in the background and you can hear her talking while she zooms with a friend. So what a weird era we live in. So let's start at the top. So this is the attic, and when you take our third floor and attic tour or the full mansion tour, you'll come up to the top floor and you'll see this long hallway. And this is the attic of Glensheen. It's not the fanciest space in Glensheen, but I think for an attic, it's pretty impressive. This is not a crawl space. It is probably 15 feet tall. It is a massive amount of storage up there. And people ask, how do we keep finding new things? A lot of the things are in the attic. And we've cataloged it all, but we haven't done deep dive research into all the pieces that exist up here. And it turns out some of them are pretty phenomenal. So I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but the small little table on the bottom left looks like a simple kid's table. It's actually a table made by Gustav Stickley. Just throwing that out there. So you got a lot of cool stuff like that. But all of what you see here wrapped up, those are the rugs of Glensheen. And so when you walk through Glensheen and you see all of this red rugs covering everything, realize that we still have the original rugs. They're actually all in storage. You got it, up here in the attic. So I think it's kind of fun to throw back and see the construction of the space. So this shows you how much steel is made up in the entire house, but you can really see it in that attic when you're up on tour. Those are the red beams you see going across. So this is that first layer of kind of the skeleton of the house is the steel. And of course it's Carnegie steel because that's who Chester made his money from. And then this is the shot of the first layer of the roof. There's actually 3 layers. And so when you're in the attic looking up, this is the first layer you see out of that terracotta tile. And then there's yet 2 more. And then that top layer is the one that you publicly saw. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in here. Not had a lot of success with this. We're moving. And so now you can see that top layer. And the original roof actually had 2 copper nails in every single one of these terracotta tiles. And they're really actually pretty decorative on the corners. It's amazing how much detail was just in the roof. And how much weight is on the roof. There is actually 45 pounds per square foot of weight on each foot of the roof. So that's an enormous amount of weight across. We did have to replace the roof in the 90s. So it's no longer that really expensive terracotta tile. It's an alloy today. Still looks beautiful and very similar in general look to what it was. But as you back out here, and we see if we can go to the next photo or not. Sorry, it is a day of technical difficulties. So let's go into the attic. And so as you go into the attic, there is a lot of random stuff. So you actually have this chair here, and you'll notice that it doesn't fit anywhere in Glensheen. And so our thought is this, is something they picked up on their travels later. It's, maybe something from their old house that they liked, but it really doesn't make sense anywhere in the home. And so that's why it's still in the attic. Hey, Donnie, and hey, Corey from Fairbanks, Alaska, and Jane from South Dakota, and Nick. It's good to see some repeat watchers. Thanks, guys. Um, and so, let's keep going. Now, one of the most common things you'll find in the attic are chairs. Um, we can't possibly have all the chairs out that were originally, and so all of those extras are up in the attic. And so you see chairs from the living room, you see chairs from the servants' dining room, you see them from the breakfast room. A lot of that stuff is up here. Hey, Tracy from Las Vegas. Um, and so one of the other pieces that's up there I think is kind of cool is this giant map. It's, I'd say, 4.5 feet tall. And we don't really know for sure its use, but it's that classic World War I map. And I like to think that, Clara Condon was looking at this map when, the family was thinking about what was going on overseas and thinking of the different loved ones that she knew. The other thing we have a lot of in the attic is the spare parts of the house. So this is a lot of the spare moldings throughout the entire mansion and the carriage house. And as you can see, there are a lot of them. But it's great. If something unfortunate happens to one of the moldings in the house, we have a spare. And so you see a lot of those pieces right up here. Believe it or not, we actually have just recently organized this again. This is, I think, there's a lot of kind of like slightly humorously interesting pieces. I like this one, the eat and drink comfortably in your car. So at some point when they had purchased this, and here's just the box that it came in. I think it's just kind of fun to see the old marketing of the past. Fits all makes of cars. Anyways. Here is a children's eating table. Hi, Connie from Brooklyn Park. This, once again, what do you know? More chairs. So the place has got a lot of them. And you can see they're from a variety of rooms. There is that breakfast room chair right there. There is the dining room chair. And then chairs that I have no idea where they're from. And we probably don't know either for some. Now, I don't know, this may be the historian to me, but I love these old crates that supplies came in. And so you see here the electric soap, the best soap in the world. I love the marketing of the old days. This is salt, smoked, and canned fish from Frank Davis Fish Company in Massachusetts. You can see it sent directly to Mrs. Chester A. Condon, Duluth, Minnesota. 2 packages. The Arm & Hammer box of the old. The Northland biscuits from Minneapolis. Something else that we have is the Condons were collectors of a variety of things. They collected their National Geographic magazines. And so we have boxes and boxes of National Geographic magazines, which we now store in archival boxes. But there's a lot of them. And they are this kind of cool historic timestamp to when the Condons lived in the house. And sorry, Holly, I missed you from Kansas. And Jamie from Ellensburg, Washington. Wow, cool. So this is an old Harper's Weekly, which I also think is another fun piece. I really don't know what's going on here. Anarchy, discontent, gunpowder. That's what this thing says. Oops. Oh, and I think I've actually finished my little show and tell. So, with that, see if I can get out of... Oh, I didn't. I don't know why I didn't go forward more. Okay, so let's go back into this because it's fun to show the stuff. So, here is some old ads from a newspaper. I think this is actually a Duluth newspaper. An old typewriter that we have upstairs. So you may have seen in a past Facebook Live before I was no longer, before COVID happened. We have this huge original documentation of the building of the Panama Canal that was sent to Chester. We also know that Chester and Clara actually went and visited the Panama Canal. But here's an official handbook of the Panama Canal, 4th edition, final revision, which I think is kind of a cool extra piece too. This is, I think, more of a national significance, which I think is fun. But an original Abercrombie and Fitch bag, or I should say, document case. But isn't that kind of cool to see? You can see that actual, you can really see the press on the branding. in this piece. Hey, Ann from Florida. Wow, we got people from all over the place. That is amazing. Craig from Washington State too. This is one of my favorite I'm going to show you today. I just love that you can. It's very clear you can see that metal brand pushed down on the leather. I think that is officially it now. I knew I was close to the end last time. So once again, we're at my usual mark of around 10 minutes for these. And this is my kind of last moment here. I will say I'm wearing my T-Rex shirt from the Science Museum. I have to represent our museums in Minnesota every once in a while. And of course, the UMD Bulldog, because I am a Bulldog through and through, my undergrad and master's. Hi, Deb from Bemidji. And thank you. If you guys have any questions, now is a good time. Otherwise, I can sign off. But once again, if you have other things you want to see at Glensheen that you normally don't get to, let me know. We have taken so many photographs that I can usually pull that stuff up. And I actually do have a fireside chat. You can't see it because the camera's from the wrong angle, but I swear it's happening. You can probably hear it in the background. See, I wasn't lying. But either way, kind of fun. And I hope you enjoy these quirky little things that we do. And hopefully we'll see you all this summer. Thanks, guys.